Hey fifth graders, today we're going to be learning how to create the first steps of our laser cutter box project software file. We're going to be using a software called Autodesk Inventor. In this particular video I'm going to show you how to open the software, how to open a file, how to go ahead and start a 2D sketch, and how to save your file. So we're on our screen, our start screen, and we are going to go down to the lower left hand corner to the start menu. Click that, go to all programs, and then you're going to want to scroll down until you find the file folder called Autodesk. You're going to click that, then you're going to find Autodesk Inventor 2016, it may be 2015. Click that. Then you're going to find Autodesk Inventor 2016 with a big orange eye. Click that. It'll launch the software. It has this really cool picture on it. Now, Autodesk Inventor is a 3D modeling software, CAD software, computer-aided design. So you can do all sorts of different things on this. We're going to be using it to create our laser cutter box. The first thing that you want to do is you want to get yourself oriented to the screen. So this right here is called the launch screen, and it really gives you the choices of opening a new file, giving you a list of things that you've been working on, and then down here, any of your recent documents. We're going to be making a new part, so we're going to go in the upper left-hand corner and we're going to choose Part. Okay. Now we've launched a new screen. This right here is considered your workspace. This is where everything that you draw will show up. Over here to the right, we have a couple of ways to either manipulate your view of what you're working on, or in some cases find what you're working on. So this right here, this cube, it has different views on it, just like our orthographic projections. Here, you can use these choices to find what you need or to move things around. Over to the left is what I consider to be the table of contents. The table of contents is like a list of things that you've done, a list of steps. And there's a lot of times in Autodesk Inventor where you need to go back and tweak something, like tweak one of your sketches, or go back and fix a piece that you're working on. And you can use this right here to go back to the place where you need to fix something without having to undo a bunch of steps. Speaking of undo, you're going to mess up. So the undo button is right up there in the upper left hand corner, and if you ever feel like you've done something that isn't correct or isn't what you want, it's usually the first thing that you can click and just kind of undo it and start over. We also have a bunch of tabs up here. The tabs are the different types of things that you can do in Autodesk Inventor. For the most part, we stick with 3D Model and Sketch. Down here, as you go through the tabs, this is called the ribbon, and the ribbon changes to give you your options or tools for that particular tab. So for example, this is the 3D Model ribbon, this is the Sketch ribbon. In the upper left-hand corner, you have the big orange eye. The big orange eye is where you open your files and where you save your files and where you export your files. So we'll be there a lot. Now, the first thing that we really want to do is we want to make a sketch of the top of our box. So I'm going to go over here to where it says Start 2D Sketch, and I'm going to click it, and this pops up. These are your planes. You can work in 3 different planes. You can work in XY, you can work in YZ, or you can work in XZ. I usually choose XY because it's like drawing on a piece of paper and we're really familiar with that environment. So I'm going to click that. Now, when you do that, you get 4 quadrants. just like if you're working with graphing in math. So upper left, upper right, lower left, lower right, center. Now, you want to make a box. In order to make a box, we need a tool. So I go up to the ribbon, and I've got a lot of choices, as you can see, but if I'm making a box, it's really just a rectangle, so I'm going to click that. You also noticed here that if I hover over it for just a second, the help menu comes up, so you can also do that to kind of figure out what all these different things are. So I'm going to click on rectangle, and it gives me a whole bunch of choices. I'm going to choose 2-point rectangle. Click again. Now, as soon as I do that, I'm ready to make my first part. And you'll see this little yellow dot, and then you will see an X coordinate and a Y coordinate. Notice that they shift around as you move around the screen. So right now, the X is negative, the Y is positive. Now they're both positive. Now the X is positive and the Y is negative. Now they're both negative. You can make your box anywhere you want to on the screen. I usually stick to the middle. And in order to make the box, what you want to do is you want to click, drag until you've made something vaguely square-like. Don't worry about the measurements because you're going to edit those in a moment. When you feel like you've got a decent square, click again, and it releases to make the box. Now, not the right size. So we want to do something known as dimensioning. So we'll go up here to where it says dimension, click that. And then what you can do is you can highlight the different sides of the square and you can change the size. Now, in order to change the size, you highlight, so now it's white. You click, you pull out, you click again. When you click again, the edit button comes up and it's really easy to change the size. It's already in inches, so I'm going to make this side of the box 6 inches. So I'm going to choose 6, and I'm going to hit the green check mark. And oh no, the box disappears. It really hasn't disappeared. It's just now it's bigger than the size of the screen. So what you want to do is you want to find your box. You can do that in one of two ways. You can use the little wheel on the mouse. So I'm going to do that right now. I'm just going to scroll till I find it again. Oh, there it is. You can also go over here and use the magnifying button. Now it will, if it changes this side, it will change also the side that's parallel to it. So that one's already 6 inches, but we need to fix this one. So we're going to dimension again, click, pull, click, edit. It's a square, so it needs to be 6 too. And hit the check mark. Now we have a square that's 6 by 6. What you might notice is we don't have the tabs on this yet. So we're going to go back and make the tabs in just a little bit, but this is a really good time for me to show you how to save your work. When you're done with your sketch mode, you can't save the file until you click Finish Sketch. This is not like Google. It doesn't automatically save. So you need to do this on a regular basis. So I'm going to finish the sketch by clicking the green check mark up here. Again, it disappears. Don't worry. You can always scroll back to find it. And it's now in a place where it's known as, it's kind of ready for something known as an extrusion, but we're not going to go to that part yet. Instead, what we're going to do is we're going to go over here to the big orange eye, and we're going to click Save As, and then Save As again. You will get your menu that pulls up as to where you can save it. Now we need to save it not on the computer itself, but in your school login folder. So if you go to the drop-down menu, you should see somewhere here, usually under computer, it will have your school login address, and you need to click that, and that's your school login folder. Mine looks a little bit different because I'm a teacher. So just look for your school login, choose that, and then you're going to want to name your file. We're going to name all of our files with our last name first. So there's my last name. This is the top of my box, Now I already have, you're not going to run into this, but I already have another top file going. So I'm just going to put a B after that so that it also kind of gives you that idea that we're corresponding with part B on your project list. But you can just go ahead and put your last name in top of the box. It saves as an IPT file, which is exactly what we want, and then you will click Save. Once you do that, you have everything ready to go. Your part is saved. So in the next video, what we're going to do is we're going to actually practice opening it back up, and then we'll put the tabs on the box.